Hey guys, we got back from Civil War. Finally, I see this film. I feel like everybody in the world has seen this film but me. I think because Europe got it like a week ahead of time. What the fuck? That's so annoying. So annoying. But now I know how the Europeans feel because we used to get all the movies.
And
now they get all the movies.
Yeah, so.
But you know, I didn't really get a lot of spoilers. So no spoiler review here. We're going to do a super short review, which is just us talking about it when we just got back, okay? Not a crazy analysis or anything. That's going to be in the spoilers discussion where we can relax and talk about everything. So, Captain America Civil War was fucking awesome. Marvel does it again. You done did it good.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
It is.
I
loved it. I fucking loved it.
Let's just give Marvel the DC movie licenses and have Marvel do the DC movies.
Do whatever you want to do. Take it. It's yours.
Just take all of them, yeah.
Guys, Marvel had more characters to contend with than DC, and yet they still managed to have a coherent story that made sense, that the motivations were correct for everybody. The characters felt like their comic book counterparts. Captain America is this symbol of justice, honor, duty, loyalty, and integrity, and Jesus Christ. You know, they're making him look like basically like Superman, and they're making Superman looks like
Superman should be
completely different. Anyway, so let's talk about the film and how good it was without any spoilers. Dale, you want to start off on the story there, on how this thing begins and what the conflict is?
So the conflict is that the Avengers, of course, over their period of avenging, have killed a bunch of innocent people.
A lot of avenging.
And there's a lot of avenging going down. And a lot of people are mad that they killed a lot of people, you know, collateral damage. And so the premises of the entire movie that you find out at the beginning is that all the governments of the world are like, you're bad. And you need to be controlled by us.
Fucking governments.
I fucking hate this. I hate this personally because it's like if they didn't do what they were doing, then there would be more dead people, or this entire world would be obliterated.
It'd be gone. So
I fucking hate this thing. But I understand, and some of the lines in the movie were set up very nicely to help people understand. Saying, especially when Vision says that basically the more these meta heroes are popping up, the more these catastrophic events are happening. And it's as if villains are challenging these heroes in the open, and what's happening is people is dying. So that was the great motivation for setting up the Civil War and setting up a committee of oversight for the Avengers. That was a good way to do it. Obviously, this is different from the comics. It follows it closely, but it's more of a condensed kind of thing. And what did you feel? Did you feel that Captain America... Now, considering this is a Captain America movie, did you feel that Captain America got lost in his own movie like Superman got lost in his own movie?
I did not. All my focus was actually on fucking Tony Stark and Captain America. It was like evenly dispersed. Great amount.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And putting those two against each other was a fantastic idea because it's like you keep upping the ante on every Marvel movie, right? And you're like, Jesus, what are they going to do for the next one? Instead of going back and doing their own little mini conflicts. This was a perfect follow-up to the Marvel Universe where they've dealt with Ultron now, where it's like, unless you throw in a major threat like Thanos, at this point, there's not much you can do. So having the team fight amongst themselves is really, really cool. And it was a great idea. And to do it within a Captain America movie was genius. Because his stories are already a little bit more of the, you know, espionage and interpersonal relationships between the team members. Captain America's always been very team-centric and people-centric. And this movie basically, fantastic visuals, fantastic fighting, characters true to themselves, true to their comic counterparts, and motivation's perfect. I ain't got no complaints.
I was trying to find something bad. I was like, all right, I fucking love this movie. I want more of it.
I want more. I want more.
I couldn't find anything bad.
But I did find a little bit to complain about because I was searching really hard. At this point, you're just nitpicking.
Let me guess. The shaky cam.
Yeah,
the
how'd
shaky
you know that?
cam, dude.
How'd you know
I didn't
that?
like it either.
Okay.
Like a lot of
I felt this was the first Marvel movie. I don't know, did they change cinematographers? Did they change fight choreography? Did they change... I don't know what happened, but it was... Now, thankfully, it clears up.
Yeah.
Okay, Act 2 and 3, it clears up. But when this movie first started, Black Widow in particular, they shook that camera like a motherfucking bitch.
Yeah, they did.
And I was like, I don't want to watch her fight. I don't get it out of my face. You're fucking everything up. And I don't know if they were trying to hide the fact maybe they didn't have the normal stunt actress, and so they needed to shake it a little bit more so it looks more like Scarlett. I don't know.
It was almost to the quality of someone running around with a cam.
That was the first thing that I put.
Shaky it was.
Way too much shaky cam on Widow's fights. Yeah. And but that was really it. And then after the pretty much everybody else's fights are great. I mean, you see the fights in the trailer where Tony is fighting simultaneously Winter Soldier and Captain America. And that was a feature piece in the trailer, and it didn't give too much away. And it was coming late in the movie where I'm like, oh shit, is that a trailer-only scene? How are they going to set this up? So there's still surprises in the movie, and I'm happy for that. Another thing is that I didn't know who the blonde was. They set up a love interest for Steve Rogers, Captain America. And I guess she was in Winter Soldier, Captain America Winter Soldier, but I don't remember her at all.
That's what I was trying to...
Basically, this is a female character. She's blonde. She's, I guess, the daughter of Peggy, which was his previous love interest 100 years ago.
It's just fucking weird.
It is a little fucking weird that he's robbing the cradle.
Yeah,
a little that. And so it's already awkward, right, Joe? Yeah. So you got to set it up a little more than that. And they kind of just...
They just threw it in there.
I was like, wait, what just happened?
And they were like, this is a long time coming when they sort of, kiss and they set this love interest up. And I wasn't buying it. I was confused at who she was. I'm sure she was set up in the last movie, but it was probably like that and just lost in all the other stuff. So I feel like Marvel, every single love story that they try to do, a love triangle, love story, love interest, is really, really weak. And the decisions that they make behind it, Scarlet or Black Widow and Hulk, that was just really awkward and interesting. I think the only one that really worked was sort of in Ant-Man. That one worked a little bit, and I'm really looking forward to this dynamic duo with Ant-Man and Wasp. So it's hard to talk about all the individual characters without giving away spoilers. So we're going to try to wrap this part up. But was there any other standout parts of the movie for you, though?
Positive or negative right now?
Positive or negative. It's all up in the air. Go ahead.
I thought a lot of the CGI was really good as usual in Marvel. They nailed their CGI. I really liked a lot of the lines. Like the writers were really on point with keeping the characters in check with themselves, like you said. Yeah. And honestly, as far as negatives go,
dialogue so good, a lot of back and forth barbs. Yeah, Tony Stark is
like a lot of banter. Is so much.
Yeah, a lot of banter.
It is. Tony Stark is written so well.
He is.
It's just perfect. And the greatest thing I'll say about this movie is it has the right kind of balls, right? Yeah. So balls. It's basically
explain that one.
Okay, I'll explain it. DC has big balls because they're doing things with their characters and licenses that they think is shocking and clever and awesome. Yeah. When really it's kind of going against the characters and making it more like an Elseworlds story. Yep. Marvel is doing. They have balls and they're doing things with their characters that are the right way in the sense that this particular story, it's a story that doesn't end neatly. with audiences, you know, feeling good about themselves at the end of the movie. Everything wraps up all tight and neat and going back to the way it was. No, this is a film that really takes its source material seriously. And the Civil War, you know, leaves repercussions. And this may be the first villain, who we'll talk about, this villain, Zemo in the film, is probably the first villain that actually kind of wins a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, obviously you'll have to see the film to see exactly what I'm talking about, but it's very interesting the way they end this one, and I think that's balls in a good way. So, all around fantastic film. Go out and see Civil War. It gets my highest recommendation. I'm going to go with a final verdict section here. Joe, what do you think? What are you looking at? 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I fucking love it. I want to go back and watch it.
Boom. Me too.
I want to go back and watch it.
What about you, Del?
Overall,
Yeah.
I mean, there was only one weak thing that that kind of drops a point for me in the entire movie.
Yes.
And it's at no point did any of them ever be like, "Come on, look how many people we saved."
Come on.
Like nobody ever brings up the fact that they saved literal millions of people, and the entire world's pissed that 13 people died.
It would have been nice if they dropped the line of dialogue in there, or had somebody come to the Avengers' defense. But I will say that they do enough justification saying that this needs to happen and we need to register and we need to do that. So I wasn't really, you know, basically I think what they were trying to do is justify it for audiences that way really hard, and maybe they kind of forgot a little bit of fan service or lip service to the fact that without the Avengers, the world would have been fucked anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, Joe, I want to go back to you. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Is this the best Marvel movie so far?
By far.
By far the best Marvel movie.
Okay, I'll take that back. Not by far.
Not by far.
This one, I did like Winter Soldier, but I would give that a 9 out of 10.
Yeah. So this was better than Winter Soldier for you?
I believe so, yes.
Fuck yeah. Okay, and what was it? 9 out of 10?
I'm giving it a 9, yeah.
Okay.
It's a good 9, because I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was better.
Yeah.
I put it higher than that.
Yeah, in terms of rewatchability, you know, fun factor, story, character interaction. But I thought for a cameo movie like this, because you got Spider-Man. We've seen Spider-Man for the first time. Yep. Let's talk real quick about Spider-Man before I give you my views. Did you like... Wait, no, let's do that in the spoilers. God damn it, man. This is complicated. Man. Okay.
Yeah, we'll wait
so,
what is your verdict?
My verdict. This is... I like the fact that this probably is one of the villain is not really in it very much, but he probably does the most damage to the Avengers than we've ever seen. Yeah. It's so interesting. It's a completely different point of view to see Avenger on Avenger action. All right, and so it's kind of hard for me to categorize. I'm gonna go with a 9 out of 10. I think it's among the best up top. I think I would put it, like you said, next to Guardians of the Galaxy for me. But I think I as well liked Guardians of the Galaxy. Just a
little more.
Tad bit more. But this one is like number 2 on my list, I think. Number 2, I go back and I think of all the Avengers to see the Avengers fighting that first time. That first Avenger movie really does it for me.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe that one is a little bit above this one. So, but god damn it, it's still fucking amongst the top 3. And what surprises me the most is how Marvel can keep cranking out these
videos.
Like top motherfucking quality films that I have like zero complaints with, very little complaints, and you'll see a little bit more in the spoiler section. But for this section, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10, Del 9 out of 10, Joe 10 out of 10, and badass seal of approval.
Damn.
Go out and see it right now in theaters. Please support this film. Marvel's doing a great job. And the big question is, are you Marveled out? Are we starting to run into some comic book atrophy?
No.
No.
No, not
at all.
If they continue with this.
I mean, I know people are whispering it into my ear and shit, but I'm like, fuck off. I'm having a great time.
True, yeah.
So as long as you keep cranking them out at this level, Joe, if you want to whip out what is next on the,
next one
agenda.
Is Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. That's where Doctor Strange, I think, is possibly where the first misstep could happen.
Yeah.
Just because it's so much different from the rest of what we've seen so far in the Marvel Universe. A lot more magic. But I think Benedict is such an amazing actor that he might be able to hold that one up himself if it turns out to be not that great. So after Doctor Strange is...
You might enjoy this one. Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh yeah. Shit, man. That's got a lot to live up to. A lot to live up to. And after that one...
Then let me check. Oh, we got Thor.
Thor, okay. Thor was absent in this movie. It's good to note that. You have Thor and Hulk both absent in this movie. So I hope that we'll see a resolution of Hulk's story, even though I don't think he's going to get a standalone. It'll probably be an Avengers thing. Infinity War. And then Thor is getting his own, of course, the Ragnarok, which is the end of everything. So that should be super interesting. If you're going to follow up if you're going to follow up Civil War, it's got to be the end of everything off in Thor's world to save that, which also would end ours. But, you know, that's on the Thanos level of world-ending kind of stuff. So that's cool. And then Infinity War.
Yes.
And then
Black Panther.
Black Panther, which they seem to set up with this movie. Black Panther's in the movie. His introduction, his reveal. I thought that Black Panther surprisingly was one of the best characters in the film.
Oh yeah,
I liked it.
I can't believe I forgot to talk about Black Panther in the actual movie review. The actor is fantastic. It's good to have somebody come from a completely different country that has nothing to do with America or the Avengers or anything like that.
Just shows up.
And it shows that there's heroes around the world, so that fans around the world have heroes to root for, and it's not just all America-centric. I'm sure the rest of the world is all like, God damn it. But they did have some good banter between Spider-Man and Captain America there. You know, one's from Brooklyn, of course, and one's from Queens, of course. Yeah, a little bit there. Woo, the fights in this movie are so good. 9 out of 10. Go see it right now. Let's jump directly to our spoiler section. So please watch that video where we'll get into the nitty-gritty, all the details that you want to hear, and our opinions on stuff. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Go fucking see it.